A huge challenge for small business owners is maintaining a robust pipeline. What typically happens is there are feast and famine cycles, or specifically, you have times when the business is great and you can't keep up with the demand, and you have times where it feels like the phone's just not ringing. And so that creates a lot of stress on your cash flow, your operating capacity. It means that you might have, might not be able to bring staff on full time. You might have to staff with contractors or part time workers. And then if you're not keeping them, for a good 30, 40, 50 hours a week, then they might find full time employment some other place. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And so one of the things that you're always looking to do is get to a point where you have just enough capacity going on that you can do what we call base load the business, meaning that you know that if you have a handful of contracts that can stabilize 40, 50, 60, 70% of the business, that you've got a stable operation, and then you've got a good foundation or framework for business growth. Okay. And so clearly old school is you just have to grind it out. This was something that I had to work through in my business. It proves through business viability. Okay, it's you grind it out, you get your processes working, you get your systems working, and you go from there, and you just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. But that doesn't always work out, because invariably you get distracted. You have to go deal with some customer service issue or invest in customer service issues, and then that takes you off from selling, or you have to replace your sales team, or you have a major customer service issue, or if you're looking at what's going on here lately, you have labor shortages, you have supply chain shortages, you have other things that are beyond your control. And so once again, as we talked about in the last video, this is again an area where if you know how to partner, that can really and truly address the fluctuation in the sales pipeline. And when you can effectively partner, then when you start looking at this B2B or this Fortune 500 market for goods and services, then when you start talking about the 5, 6, 7, 8-figure multi-year contracts, that you have really and truly positioned yourself to get a good base load of business to help you sustain the peaks and valleys operationally, and the contracts are spitting out off enough cash flow that you can actually invest in increasing the scalability for the business. And so that gets us into the topic of, have you closed the skills gap in order to land the contracts that you need? And have you closed the skills gap to figure out how you deal with the 90% failure rate of partnering with other companies, as well partnering or doing strategic alliances with big companies? And so you definitely want to make sure that you take the investment to close that skills gap, so that you give your business the best chance you potentially can, to make sure that you give your business the best chance for the growth that it's capable of doing, or that you originally went into business to do. And what I will tell you in this case, there's not 3 things that you need to be aware of. There's one. It is, make sure you close the skills gap in order to solve this problem of maintaining a robust pipeline. Because a good partnership, that would be one of those things that you can design into it, and it will solve that problem for you. It is one of the best ways to think about it. I'm not a big fan of this model, but it works. Just as an example, looking at the Amazon model. Amazon brings you customers. You have a good product, Amazon brings you customers. You do not have pipeline issues. You can solve it with some marketing and other kinds of things on that. But if you have something that's pulling that customers in for you, that solves it. If you actually do the work and actually land a good 6-7 figure contract to base load the business. That solves the problem for you. And then when you get to a certain size, you're talking about doing some specific things on sales pipeline management, business development management, looking at more metrics and details around how many contracts do you have in the pipeline, what are the things that you do right and the things that you need to work on, or things that just aren't quite right to increase your sales conversion. How do you increase your customer retention rate? What is your pricing strategy? These are all the different things that you begin to work on to stabilize your pipeline when you have the resources to do that, or you have a partnership or a strategic alliance that actually helps you to address those things. So what I want to leave you with today is that is a solvable issue. And there's support for you to actually solve it. So there you have it. That's what we have for today. And stay tuned for the live Q&A. And I will see you on our next session. Take care. Bye for now.